Hey guys, how you doing? We gotta do some wolf talk, and this is gonna be political, but not so much political as Republicans are bad, Democrats are bad. No, this is more geared towards an article that Tim Pool talked about, where Virginia became the 38th state to pass the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment, which was written in 1923. Now, for everybody watching, this is not suitable for children. This is not meant for children. This is meant for voting adults, and especially for feminists and women, because I really don't think they completely understand what they're asking for in the Equal Rights Amendment or the ERA, if this should actually become constitutional law. So, with that out of the way, let's dive into this. Now, before we start, I am no lawyer. I know layman about the Constitution. I know layman about certain things, so take that with a healthy dose of salt. But even my brain, when I started reading the particulars of the Equal Rights Amendment, which was written in 1923, and you can definitely tell it was written for the sensibilities of the day, basically says, under no circumstances can you differentiate between sex under the law. Now, that might seem completely innocuous and pretty much what we already have in the Civil Rights Act, but this makes it constitutional law. And I really don't think modern-day feminists truly understand what that means, because they seem to think it's going to put them at a level playing field with men, and it will, but they're going to keep their protections that they take for granted along with them. And it's like, no, you're not. All your protections under the law that give you special protections, like, I don't know, affirmative action, they become constitutionally illegal overnight. Let me explain. Under the Equal Rights Amendment, you cannot differentiate by sex in any way, shape, or form. So, for example, affirmative action, which basically says you have to have a quota of men, you have to have a quota of women in your workforce. You have to have a quota of this, you have a quota of that. Well, you're differentiating. You have to have a certain quota for a specific sex. You're differentiating by sex. That's unconstitutional by the Equal Rights Amendment. You can't do that anymore. Affirmative action literally becomes constitutionally illegal overnight. Also, certain things like Planned Parenthood under federal and state constitution, because it's specifically biased towards women, that could be stretched and argued as unconstitutional. See, women are opening up a lot of debates they don't want opened. It will happen. It'll be like a bunch of dominoes falling, and this will turn into a political / law fight the likes we haven't seen probably in a century. Other things may come up under review. For example, women like to have their female-only scholarships. You're discriminating against men. That can be argued under federal court now under the Equal Rights Amendment as being unconstitutional. Now, on the flip side of the coin, men-only scholarships can be thought the same way too. And that also falls over to boys and girls-only schools. Could be now considered under U.S. laws unconstitutional. I mean, the dominoes just start falling and they keep falling. Women's-only sports. Oh, yeah. Because you're discriminating against men can be now considered unconstitutional. See, there's no more girls and boys track. There's just track, where they all compete together. And I'm pretty sure feminists know how that will go. You see, in like the women NBA, for example, you see, you can't make that for women anymore. It's now constitutionally illegal. Men don't have to become trans to play in the WNBA. They can just play in the WNBA. Now, the fun part is, in the normal NBA, that's pretty much dominated by men, there is no law saying women can't try out for the NBA and try and get on teams. They absolutely can. It's just you're competing against men, as will be constitutionally mandated by law, and I wish women the best of luck under those circumstances. You see, there's a lot of shit that now can be argued as constitutionally illegal that I don't think women, especially third and fourth wave feminists have really clocked through your head, because they're sitting here cheering for this. They're sitting here going, yes, 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 and they don't realize what they're gonna have to get up to achieve this. I don't think they truly understand the shitstorm they're about to bring upon their heads. They're gonna bring the temple down around their ears, and they don't even see it coming. To quote and paraphrase Natalie Portman, this is how women's activism dies, with thunderous applause. Because it will happen. In fact, here's one little nugget that should scare the absolute ever-loving shit out of women. It should fucking terrify you. This could literally be stretched, and I'm acknowledging this could be a stretch, but it still could happen, where men could legally challenge Roe v. Wade and call it unconstitutional because it specifically discriminates against men. That case could be made before a federal court and could actually hit the Supreme Court, where they actually have to listen to this case, because now we have a fundamental disagreement under constitutional law. It could literally overturn Roe v. Wade. Now, how close is that? Now, to possibly happening, I have no idea, but the case could be made. It does have a shot under the Equal Rights Amendment. So, I must ask women, and I know this is a guy asking, so most feminists are just going to ignore me or call me stupid or saying this will never happen. I still have to ask this question. Are you sure about this? All those people screeching for the Equal Rights Amendment, are you sure about this? Do you realize the doors you are opening, specifically to men, but to everybody? And if you don't think this amendment won't be bent and twisted like a pretzel, I got a couple bridges to sell you. Just don't ask me where they are. But anyways, I know that sounds like fear-mongering, but I'm just posing the question that I know women aren't asking. And I just have to ask, are you sure about this? Because I don't think you've understood the ramifications of putting that Equal Rights Amendment in and opening the door to men to pretty much tear apart all your protections under the law. Granted, men will destroy their own, but they're not going to care. It's going to be flatly equal. There's going to be no lighter sentences for women anymore. You commit murder, you're going to get the same punishment as a man. The exact same. It'll have to be constitutionally mandated. Hell, we could go even one better just to scare the shit out of you. Single-sex jails could be literally fought and argued as constitutionally illegal under the Equal Rights Amendment, where you now have mixed-gender gen pops under maximum security prisons. Oh, boy. I can just see the cluster. Fuck that would be. Oh, man. Woo, boy. I can just see the mess that will happen there. Oh, Lordy. The cases can be made, people. Ladies, feminists, you don't know what you're asking for. I truly don't believe you do. But anyways, that's this video for this morning. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know I might get a couple of feminists, and hell, maybe some fandom ministers who didn't stop to think about that because they don't like to really tackle politics, whereas I go, politics determine reality. There's a bunch of doors this opens for lawsuits, repealing of laws, overturning laws. This calls the entire federal law system into question as how it's rated between the sexes. I don't think we want this fight, people. I'm under the header of let's let sleeping dogs lie. But anyways, that's the video. I'll catch y'all later.